What's up, musicians? It's Jared Judge, founder of BookLive and Full-Time Music Academy. Happy Monday. It is Monday, January 8th. I hope you all had a wonderful New Year's. I hope your resolutions are getting off to a good start. Drop me a comment if you are here watching live. We are live in our Full-Time Music Academy private Facebook group, our Business Tips for Gigging Musicians Facebook group, and our Full-Time Music Challenge Facebook group, which we have another challenge coming up soon. I haven't announced dates yet, but I will shortly. So good to see everybody. How is everybody doing? Happy New Year. And I am excited. We're going to kick off the new year with a bang. So who here has set some New Year's goals specific to your music career? I have. My goal is to get on 50 preferred vendor lists here in Denver so that weddings and corporate events will refer me. I also want to make this my first six-figure year here in Denver based on private event gigs, and I'm excited to make that happen. So the way that I'm going to make that happen is through BookLive, specifically through the Gig Vault. All right, cool. I see so Facebook user doing great, new goal set. Drop me a comment. Who is that? I can't see it just because StreamYard doesn't let me see that. But excellent. I'm so glad that you've set some goals for yourself. I've set some goals for myself too, and I'm ready to knock it out of the park using the Gig Vault. So today's training is going to just show you all of the cool things inside of the Gig Vault so that you can start to work your leads, get on preferred vendor lists, and make it happen for yourself. All right, good to see you, Grover. Good to see you, Ken. How's it going? So I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to get some leads for my act. In fact, I'm going to use my fake gigging act in BookLive because it's just easier to show with a fake one. So this is my fake act called Dream City Live. They live in Milwaukee. They're not real. At one point, they actually were real, but we shut that down because I didn't really want to run a cover band as a violinist. All right, so if you log into BookLive, there is a button on the right that says Open the Gig Vault. When you click Open the Gig Vault, it will ask you, who do you want to open the Gig Vault for? If you run multiple groups, it'll ask you which one. If you only run one group, then it'll just let you go right in. So if you click on your act, I'm going to use Dream City Live and open the vault. It will take me directly into the Gig Vault, which is where my gig leads are going to live. So I've set this so that I don't have any gig leads. I want to find some, because who here wants to find some gig leads for yourself? Well, I've trained on this several times, but if you don't know, preferred vendor lists are the way to get high-paying gig leads coming to you over and over again. The wedding planners, the corporate event planners, the venues that these events take place at, they have a secret list inside on their website or even just on a sheet of paper in their office with all of the florists, caterers, and even musicians that they like to work with. If you get on these lists, they will refer you to their clients. Their clients might be looking for a acoustic guitarist or a jazz trio. They'll ask their venue, hey, who do you recommend? And then the venue will say, hey, let me show you my preferred vendor list. If you get on that list, they will say, here is Dream City Live, here is blank, here is your act. And then that's when the gig leads start to really come. That's why I want to get on 50 preferred vendor lists in the coming year. I initially thought I was going to get on 100, but I've got so many things going on that 50 will be more than enough for me for now. So we logged into BookLive. We went to the Gig Vault, and it has a little bit of explanation in here, but the idea here is we need to find potential partners. BookLive has done all of the work for you to find venues and event planners near you. So you just need to hit one button, and it will show you all of the venues and event planners within a certain distance from you. The default is 25 miles. So right now it's looking in Milwaukee, which I told you that's where my fake group Dream City Live lives. And you could even switch it to planners, and you would see that it would change over there to planners. But we're going to do venues. So I've got some potential gig leads, and I see they're all 0 miles away from me. How exciting. I want to partner with these people so that I can get on their preferred vendor list. So the first thing to do would just be add a bunch of these to your Gig Vault by clicking the plus sign on the right side. So we're going to do a bunch of these. And I don't really like to filter when I first start out because it's really important to just start with volume. We're going for quantity over quality to start, because that's how we're going to get the momentum going. All right, so let's just go a couple more here. And there's so many in Milwaukee. There's so many in cities across the country. So that would be how we would find them. All right, so I've got a bunch in my gig vault, and I can see that they are all leads to me, leads to get on their preferred vendor list. I have not closed the deal yet. I have not asked them, hey, can I be on your preferred vendor list yet? That will happen. The nice thing is half of the work is already done for you, because we've already got their contact info for most of these places. All right, so let us start with a random one. I'm going to start with Villa Terrace Decorative Arts Museum. And actually, see, this one does not have a contact for me yet. So I am going to give you an overview of this page and show you how you can have our team find contact info for you, so you don't have to do any of the Googling yourself. So this page is an individual partner. I am not partnered with them yet, but I want to be. So this is the Villa Terrace Decorative Arts Museum. And I do have their phone number, which is good, but I want an email address, because once we have an email address, we can send them an email. So on the right side, there is this contacts page or contact section. And I want to find the contact person at the Villa Terrace Decorative Arts Museum, because I know they host weddings, private events, corporate events, and I need to reach out to somebody to get in touch with them. So I click the add button, and then I will click request contact. What that button does is it sends a notification to my team, where we will do the work for you of researching who is the best person to reach out to. We'll find their name, we'll find their email address, we'll find their phone number, and we will get that information into your gig vault, so you don't have to spend any of that time. Do you feel like you could spend 30 seconds and click that button and feel like you get your contact information? It's pretty cool, right? So if we go back to the gig vault, let's try another one. And I haven't done it in Milwaukee much, so I don't know who has contacts or not. All right, so Pritzloff Events is another great one. Again, there's no contact for that, so we're going to request a contact. And we do have a phone number for them, which is good. And we also have a website for them. So if we click on that little website button, that will actually open up their website, where we could see what do they do and would we be a good fit for their specific venue. Now, the really cool part is actually, what do we do once we want to reach out to them? How the heck do we get on their preferred vendor list? Because that is the golden ticket to your gig opportunities. The nice thing is, at BookLive, we've actually already given you templates of what to say. There's different categories of templates for if you're reaching out to a venue or an event planner, or you want to sponsor an event to get the word out there about what you do, even for public gigs and some other things too. But the even cooler part is we have created an automated follow-up process that tells you what to send and when to send it. Those are called sales cadences. It's called cadence because there is a pace to it. There is a dedicated structure to it. And on each of your partners' pages, there is a way to initiate a cadence, which is by clicking the current cadence. So in case you're wondering what the heck is a cadence, I'm going to show you that before we enroll someone in it. So I'm going to go down to the Sales Cadences tab, and you'll see that there is what's called the Venue Tour Cadence. Every single cadence has a goal. This specific cadence that we've designed and give to every one of our BookLive users is the Venue Tour Cadence. The goal is to get on a venue's preferred vendor list by visiting the manager in person and showing them your capabilities. So it's a solid cadence. I've used this cadence dozens of times, both in Milwaukee and Denver. And here is what it looks like. You'll notice there are 7 steps to it. The first step is to be done immediately, which is to send them the first email. I mentioned earlier we give you the templates to do this. So if you view the template, you will actually see it's got a subject and a body. It's all pre-written for you, which is pretty cool. And I'll show you how that works well with the data inside of the Gig Vault in just a second here. So the first step is to send an email, right? Have you all sent gig emails before? So this should be pretty familiar to you, but having a template is a way to get consistency, and especially knowing that this template has been used hundreds of times. Step 2 is to follow them on Instagram. This step might be new to some of you. When you're trying to work with a potential partner, you want to be everywhere for them. You want to enter into their lives and show them that you care about them and that you're a good potential partner. So following them on social media is a signal to them. They will see, hey, Jared Judge just followed me on Instagram. That's awesome. And then later in the cadence, there's actually like a post on Instagram. So you'll see how that works together with all these other things. The third step, which also happens right after you follow them on Instagram, is to like them on Facebook. Because a lot of these venues and event planners, that's their main two platforms is Instagram and Facebook. So you want to show them that you want to be a good, genuine partner. All right, so your first email should get a response. These emails have been tested and you should get a response from them. But if you don't, which is a possibility, most musicians give up after the first email, and that would be a mistake. Because think of all the reasons why they didn't respond, most of which are not that they don't care about you. It's just they're busy planning other people's events. They didn't recognize the email address, etc. So a week after the first one, the sales cadence says to send a follow-up email. So we're going to follow up to that first one, which again has a template for you. It's pretty awesome. So you send that one, and then if they still don't respond to you, a day after you sent the follow-up email, you're going to follow up by a quick phone call, and we give you a script of what to say on the phone. That is pretty awesome. I don't know of any other platform that gives you email templates and phone call scripts and tells you when exactly to use them. All right, step 6 is if they haven't responded by now, which is totally unlikely but possible, then immediately after, you're going to like a recent post on Instagram. And to take it to the next level, you'll probably even want to comment on that post. And then a day later, you would want to DM them on Instagram. And again, there is a template for you in this cadence. So that is what a cadence looks like. This one has 7 steps. They can be as long or as short as you want, but they are designed to get you to that goal by a series of follow-ups over different kinds of communication methods: email, Instagram, phone call, Facebook, etc. So that's sales cadences. Now let me show you how you can take one of your partners through that cadence. So I'm going to go back to the partnerships tab in the Gig Vault, and let's go to the Villa Terrace Decorative Arts Museum. Once the email is inside the contacts, because we requested one earlier, then what we would want to do is we would want to enroll them in a cadence. So we click on current cadence, and you'll see that cadence that we had before is available. I'm going to click on venue tour cadence, and what it does is it tells me what to do next. It gives me a next step, which is awesome because you don't have to do any of the thinking, right? A lot of the hesitation and delay in pursuing our music career happens when we overthink things or we try to be perfect about it. This takes all of that away from you so that you can just take the action, do it, don't think about it, don't get emotionally involved in it, just do it, and the process will work. Now, I mentioned earlier that these email templates kind of work together with these sales cadences, and here is how. So if I click on the send first email, I see I have a couple options. First option is to view the template. And then the other options we'll get to later. So I'm going to click on View Template. And what that does is it pulls in those templates I showed you earlier. Now, here is the really cool part, is that BookLive is one of the first music marketing platforms that actually taps into the power of AI. And if you click this Personalize button, it will send this information to the OpenAI API, and it will personalize these email templates based on the contact name, which we don't have a contact name yet, but also the venue information. So right now it changed the subject line to Touring Villa Terrace Decorative Arts Museum, and it will personalize it based on the information you've given to BookLive. So if you give BookLive a bio, it will learn from that, and then it will customize the templates so that people know who you are and you don't have to write as many different things. All right, cool. So the next step is once you've personalized your template, you would copy the subject line. You would, in your email client, draft a new email to that contact, paste in the subject line, paste in the body. You'd copy the body too, paste it into your email client, and then hit the send button. And once you do that, then you click on that next step thing, and then you would mark complete. So mark complete, that will indicate to BookLive that you've done this and move you on to the next one. Skip step does the same thing, but it doesn't mark it as complete. It just indicates that you're skipping it. And then change due date. Say today is, a holiday and you don't want to send emails on Christmas or New Year's. You could change the due date to sometime in the future and go ahead and do that. And it'll tell you, okay, this is now due January 11th. So I just sent the first email. Let's pretend that I did. Click on that, mark complete, and then it will log that we've completed step 1 in the venue tour cadence, and then it will give us our next step. So I mentioned the next step was to follow on Instagram. So it tells us, okay, time to follow on Instagram, which is great because I don't have to think about that. I'm going to do the same process for every single prospect. Again, mark complete. Okay, cool. My next step is to like on Facebook. Awesome. I'm going to mark that as complete. And then I get to the send follow-up email, which I see is not due until January 15th. It is currently January 8th. So I don't need to worry about this prospect again for another 7 days. Now, how will I remember to go back and reach back out to them? Because, I'll be working through all these different contacts, making lots of connections. So I want to know what's my next move. The nice thing is in the Gig Vault, if you click on Dashboard, it will take you to this dashboard page for your Gig Vault, and it will show you some stats. Like right now, I've got 19 leads, 19 potential partners who I'm working on. And when you start to make these partnerships, this will change and show you that you're actively partnered with 50, which that's my goal for this year. But underneath, you'll also see upcoming tasks. These are all of the tasks in the sales cadences that are due, and it's sorted by their due date. And you can see that my only task is to send a follow-up email to the Villa Terrace Decorative Arts Museum in 7 days. So let me just show you what it would look like if I enrolled a couple other venues and event planners into that cadence. So let's do that one. Let's do venue 42. And one more should do it. Let's do the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist. All right, cool. So I go back to the dashboard, and I now see that I have 4 tasks. Some of those are due within the next hour because I just started those cadences. So they are ready to send the first email. So that is how I would manage my upcoming tasks. And this is a surefire way to guarantee that you're taking the correct actions in the right amount of quantity to get the result that you want. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to comment on this post or send me an email, jared@booklive.com. I want to wrap up by sharing with you guys that in the new year, this is your opportunity to make 2024 your best year yet with your gigs. And it happens only if you take enough action. And a lot of people say massive action, right? Don't hide in the practice room. A lot of people just like to hide in the practice room, even though you've got beautiful gifts to share with the world. So get out of the practice room, start reaching out to venues and event planners, get on their preferred vendor list, use this process, and I'm sure you're going to have a much better 2024 than you ever thought possible. So to conclude, if you're interested in a free trial of BookLive, I want to invite you to get your copy of the Gig Vault and get a free trial of BookLive. Go to openthegigvault.com and you will get a free copy of the Gig Vault as well as your very own login to BookLive and a bunch of our courses and training materials on how to use it so that you will knock 2024 out of the park. So to recap, in order to get a lot of private event gigs, weddings, corporate events, etc., my favorite way is to get on the preferred vendor lists of wedding planners, private event planners, event venues, and so forth. The way to do that is by reaching out to them and following up. And the way to manage that process so that you can have all of the contact information already at your fingertips, what templates to say, what phone scripts to say, and even links to their Instagram and so forth. That's by using BookLive. So get your free trial of BookLive at openthegigvault.com And that is all we've got for today. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for tuning in to our first Book Live session of 2024. And remember, your music will not market itself. Bye, everybody.